going on, everybody? It's your boy Itz-Beez-Da, TrackStar, and welcome back to Dancehall Masterclass Mixing. So, I have a whole drum loop or a whole drum pattern where I do actually go for mix, you know what I mean? And I also have a section on my add to this whole mixing page where, you know, would like for then re-upload the files them. You understand what I say? After I practice with what I go discuss in another video, you understand, and me kind of help guide you in the right way. You understand? Tell you where you do wrong, tell you where you could do better. You understand? Now, that being said, I know a lot of people now have the same exact tools on me have. You understand? So what I do say is just keep it general as possible. Use the stock plugins them if you have to use them, because at the end of the day, are the same thing. Certain plugins might give you a different flavor, a different feature, and this a way or that the way, but at the end of the day, it's the same thing. You understand? I just want to take the basic ideas, the panning and the volume and that type of stuff and apply it. You know what I mean? Like I said, the instruments are all of the drums. No loops will be available if you download, practice, and then re-upload it. You understand what I say? So let's get started. So we have this drum loop here. Now the only thing what we have, what we do is the drums. So we have kick, snare, hi-hat, 808. We have some perks, and we have a vocal chop, right? And then we have a couple of effects. But I don't think we don't do the effects. We don't focus on the drums. So this is the loop. Alright, I wonder we're not hear the... Okay, so the 808 there, sorry about that. Cool, so we can compare before and after. I am going to the main track to record, then we do the FL Studio itself. So we'll press Shift and R. Arm it up, we'll just play it. Now we recording everything down here. Oh, hold on. Yeah, my mistake. I think so, we never did a record, but I was. So it's actually tucked off in between there. So let's delete these two tracks. Sorry about that. And then do that again. So cool. So let's record. Perfect. So this is our loop with everything so far. Of course, like I say, unmixed, right? So let's delete these. What we need to delete? What is the? Okay, so we need to delete this, this, and this. Boom. Let's turn off record, and then let's get to mixing. Cool. So in FL Studio, if you hold on control and then left click and drag left or right, you can highlight multiple clips. So we'll do that a couple of times. So hold control, left click, drag to the right, highlight all of that. We'll do the same thing again here, highlight all of this. But notice it turn off the other side. So what you have to do is, firstly, hold on control, highlight the first set of channels, then hold control and shift, and then you can highlight some more channels without losing the first selection. Cool. So we'll bring all of that 0. We'll start with the snare. This is playing because of this, so let's turn this off. All right, cool. So the first thing is that you need to be able to identify problems, right? So in this snare, there is a problem, right? And we will turn off this EQ for right now. So let's turn it on, but we'll turn off all of these. So let's right click and make inactive or disable. Cool. So there is a problem, right? So if we... The channel is off. Sorry about that. So let's turn off Saturn. So we're seeing this one spot, you know, just constantly just peaking out above it, and that's resonance. You understand what I say? And resonance can be good and it can be bad. In this situation with the snare being that resonant already, having not even been processed or mixed or anything like that, that can be a problem later on. So we go take care of that right now. So the first thing, this is an EQ that show me what I go on. If me did have an EQ that never show me that I know say me hear something wanna sound right, all I would do, just make a little curve like this and just sweep through. Pinpoint the problem and correct it. So that's what I already do with the curve here. So let's turn that on. So we correct that problem. Then you go and you add to the snare. If you feel like you need to add something, to bring out something, you do that. Right here was an area where I feel like I could do that. So I bring out a little bit of the mid-range. You understand what I say? Even though we take out a little bit of the mid-range the same way, there are frequencies in and around the same area that can be good that you don't necessarily need in another area. You understand what I say? So even though we take out some of the mids, we can still boost some other part of the mids because them the frequency, they're good. And I like them. Cool. So another problem was I felt like the snare was too heavy. You understand? Like this is not a bass instrument, so there's no reason that I need, a lot of and all of that in the low end. So the last thing I'm gonna do was cut out all of the low end. I think we got anything below almost 200 hertz, get rid of all of that. Cool. Another thing I'm gonna do. If you look at the snare is an instrument where you want down the center at all times. But if you look at the snare here, you can see that it's not even. There's more of it on the left than it is on the right. In FL Studio, you have a little button here, is a stereo control. If you push it all the way to the left, you get stereo. If you push it all the way to the right, now you have a mono signal. And if you look at it now, it's flat all the way across at the top. Which is perfect. So now all we need to do is just balance volume-wise. So let's bring this back. We have a meter that I am using. We don't bring that up on the screen. Let's detach this so it stay up. And what we don't use this to is just for watch with levels. So when we are mixed, we typically want our levels to be -6, -5 when we're done mix everything and I move into mastering, right? So right now with the snare by itself, but -10, -12, that's fine because it's the only instrument. You understand what I say? The more instruments you add, the louder the overall loudness will get. So there's no issue and we can always adjust. Don't feel like, say, if you have the snare right here, so, and it sound low, it sound low. That means you can't adjust the volume. You know what I mean? So we don't just get the snare in our general area, just somewhere we can hear it. And then without bringing in the other instruments, them and slowly work our way through all of the instruments them. Okay, so now we have a hi-hat. Another instrument where, that typically want going down the center. Me, sometimes I like to experiment and, play around, but we're not going to go through all of that right now. That I feel later videos. So this is an instrument where we want down the center, strong and just did it constantly just right in front of you. You don't want it to go all over the place except if you know what you do. Like I said, that's a few video later on. So we'll just cover the basics, right? So we don't push this straight down the center. Once again, all we need to do, take the mono knob and do that. If you look at it before, some of it's even, but a lot of it is off, especially when you start playing with pitch and all of that. So we'll just push it down the center regardless. And when you listen to the difference in the sound of the hi-hat, right? So let's put this to 0. Before, there is this like stereo-ish feel to the hi-hat, where you can kind of tell, say, it's not even really leveled. You know what I mean? It's not a good feeling. If you push it down the center, no, it's just flat, nice. It seems as if it seems as if it have all of that extra weight there around it. You understand what I say? So now, just a matter of balance, finding a spot feet. And that sounds good. Let's continue on. Let's add the kicks. Okay, that's cool. I was just listening for loudness. That's cool. My kick 7 especially, I do nothing at all to it. Nothing. Let's keep going. So we have a stamp. It's a stamp, so of course it's similar to the kick, meaning it will have a lot of low frequencies. But that's not the point. That's not the point. I'm not using it because I want it to show off this incredible low end or anything like that. I use it as an accent to the kick and the 808, which is why it never plays the same time as the kick or the 808. So like me I say, as you can see, this thing covers a wide range on the spectrum. We only need the top half of this. So we shall filter all of the low what we don't need. Perfect. Cool. Once again, is another sound that's not very leveled. So in this situation, instead of making it mono, because that's not the sound that I'm going for, if I make this mono, the whole entire sound changes. And that's not the sound that I'm going for. All of a sudden it narrow and it not as wide and it not as nice. This is the sound that me want, but it's not even. So to even it out, we have another knob up here at the top, and this is the pan knob, right? Let's crank up the magnifying glass. So this right here at the top is the pan knob, right? So we are going to pan this until we get the level even, to get it to move very slow. Like instead of moving as fast as that, we can just move it very, very slow, simply by holding on control and using the mouse wheel, or holding control and left clicking and dragging. That will make it move a lot slower. So now we are too much on the right. Get in there. There we go. Once them start to fall down at the same time, that's letting me know that them leveled out and them, on equal footing. So let's get rid of the magnifying glass and go back to normal. Cool. Next, we have the 808. First thing we go do before we actually even bring up the 808 volume, we're going to right click. After you select the kick, we'll go side chain. So we'll select the kick, right click on the triangle here, side chain to this track, just like that. I'm going to bring this track all the way up to 100%, like that. And the reason why I did that is because my 808 is actually coming out of these two tracks. We have one that's wet and one that's dry. This is going to be the most, this is the signal, the signal from the beginning. This is the original signal. So we're going to side chain the kick there. You don't have to side chain at all. This is just what I do. Cool. So first thing I'm going to load here is a compressor or limiter. It doesn't matter, whatever you use the sidechain, that's fine. Cool, so we have that. My settings are already set. I'm going to go to settings, right click on processing and choose Yard Vibes Kick 7. Now the kick should start showing up here. Cool. So now we can bring the 808 level up here. This is the dry 808. But as you can hear, there is this massive, like this big rise. You don't want to hear anything like that. So we are going to adjust the sidechain level. So we'll start at 0. Cool. Now we have a much more balanced sound between the kick and the 808. So now it's all a matter of just, balancing out the volume. But the good thing about balancing the volume is that it has no effect over what's going on with the kick because it's on a separate track. We have individual volume control. The signal that is here on channel 25 is the signal after the sidechain. So when the signal leaves from channel 11, it's already being sidechained. This is simply just a volume control. Perfect. That sounds very good, very cohesive. Kick sounds good, snare sounds good. Still hearing the stomp, the 808 sounds good. Everything, it's like coming together. It's blending very, very well. All right. So we get to this part where we have this track here, and it's called Flange Bass. Now, this is a very unique chain. Now I'm going to go into it now, but I'm going to go into it later on where you can really explain exactly what's going on. So if we mute the initial 808, let's solo out the 808 complete. So if we play, as I can hear, let's me even go a step here. Let me copy the value and paste it on this track. So this is basically the 808. So on this track, I am doing some very unconventional stuff, but like I said, I'm not going to go too much into detail. I'm just going to do a quick overview and move on. So firstly, we have an EQ. What is it doing? It's a high pass filter. We're cutting out everything below 555. And at that point, there is no bass. You understand what I say? Turn that on. All of a sudden, the bass is gone. Can barely hear it, right? So to get some of that back, I then went into saturation. This is Saturn 1 from Fab Filter. I am using Saturn 2 on the snare. But it's not on right now. It's off right now. So this is Saturn 2, but I'm using Saturn 1. This is the one that the preset was created with. So when we turn that on, we bring back what you will hear people refer to as growl. Some aggressive, grungy, crunchy sounding type of stuff. We just bring in a growl back, right? And out of that, we go into Anthrasol, which is like a multi-effects type of VST, but it's predominantly a flanger, as it says here, stereo flanger. So what that is doing is it now is taking the sound and adding movement. Amongst other things, it's actually adding some depth. And if you look at the preset name, it's called Acoustic Dimensions, but I did make some other modifications. Now I'm gonna really go too much into depth, but you hear the difference it makes. Cool. So to bring everything under control now, what I am doing is using a limiter to cap or put a ceiling on the sound. So it's not going past -10. What that does now is it allows me to use this as a wet dry. So this is just the 808 by itself. And where this second 808 really comes in is that it every time you hear one of those high pitch glide notes, the second 808 with the flanger and all of that crazy shit going on, it really changes that sound. You understand what I'm saying? I'll do a separate video breaking down the exact effect. Let's bring this to 0, bring in all of the other drums. Another sound. It's not centered. We need it to be in the center. Literally just put it in the center. Another thing that I tell people all the time, high pass everything. If you don't need the low end, get rid of it. So stock EQ, and literally all I'm going to do is get rid of all of the low end. Just like that. Nothing else to be done. We have another perk here. Similar processing. Get rid of all of the low end. Don't need it anyway, right? So let's get this out of the way. Right click. Back in the track. We have another stereo sound that's not leveled, so we'll use panning to fix this one, as well as getting rid of all of that low end. Once again, we don't need it anyway. Hopefully you see the pattern. If it's not bass, kick, you don't need the low end. That's just the way it is. So let's get rid of all of that. Now, let's level out the signal. So we have too much on the right, so we'll pull the pan knob to bring it back more to the left. Remember, hold control to get finer resolution. Without holding control, this is what's going to happen. When you hold it, perfect. We have a tambourine. Only thing we're going to do, get rid of the low end. Seriously, I mean, by the end of the video, you probably get tired of hearing me saying it, but hey, it's just a fact. It's nothing there anyway. But if you look close enough, you can see just small little ripples of color. Don't need it. Goodbye. That helps with clarity. That, you know, cleans up the sound, make it more clarifies the sound. All right, so I'm happy this happened. And if you look at the sound, let's bring up the magnifying glass, right? Pay attention to the panning. Right? before the magnifying glass, it was fully leveled. I mean, before the EQ. But after the EQ, we have more sound on the left than on the right. This is a common thing. EQs can change your image. Remember, we're getting rid of frequencies. You know, certain frequencies occupy different, you know, well, when I say certain frequencies occupy different sides of the pan spectrum, but the more you get rid of, the more you can change the phase of the sound. I'm not going to really talk about that too much. I actually did a video on phase and, you know, all of that stuff. So I've done that video. So the reason for that is, remember, even though there's not that much bass in the sound, just the simple fact that we are getting rid of information that we don't hear, you know what I mean, changes how the sound is heard, basically. Now, it's hard to tell that, hey, this tambourine is playing more on the left than on the right, but visually we can see that that is what's happening. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying, even though you can't hear it, get rid of it. You know what I mean? Cut anything what you don't need. So now we just have to go through now and manually line this back up. So a little bit to the right. There we go. Cool. Nice. Lastly, we have another percussion. So we'll do the same thing. We'll EQ first. I don't know why all of these EQs won't go over there. And then we'll fix the panning. I'm hearing an error. Oh, okay, that's why. This is too long. It has a second part because I'm like, what the hell? So yeah, let's just take the length and shorten that up. This is what this is actually. Yeah, supposed to play like that. It's just one sound, not two. There we go. Perfect. So now we have the drums done. These are effects, so there's no need to, you know, add any of that stuff. We have a snare roll here, but that's separate away from the main drums. So now we will record that and then compare the before and after, before the mixing and after the mixing. So let's arm this to record, and let's arm FL Studio again, and then just record the same length of time. Perfect. So let's delete this. Now, if we swallow these two clips out, we have one that will be ridiculously loud or louder than the other, but that's not the point. The point is clarity. So we have this original clip here. In this clip we have loudness and yeah, we have that, the kicker go crazy and all of that, but there's no clarity. You struggle to hear all of the percussion. You can't really differentiate the individual sounds. You know what I mean? There's no like real guidance to any of it. It's just, yeah, let's just crank the drums up and get it as loud as possible. There's no clarity in there. There's no way for you to kind of dissect it and say, yeah, me can hear this and, so me hear that over this one. Me I hear this. So, you know what I mean? There's none of that. While here, the drums may not be as powerful. No, they will be at the end, but there's much more clarity. Just because the other one sounds louder does not mean that it's better. You understand? So, like I said, all the files will be available for you to mix and then re-upload so I can, check it out and leave my feedback. So until next time, it's your boy Itz-Beez-Da, TrackStar. Peace.